Welcome back, RealVacantLand.com. This is Luke Smith, and I got this property. I was looking at it on RealVacantLand.com, and Jacob Field has this one. He's asking $4,900. It's 5.42 acres. It's in Cochise County, Arizona. I've sold hundreds of these Cochise County, Arizona properties, but never one like this. Now, a lot of people ask, they call me up, say, Luke, I want to start a community in the desert, and I want to have 50 people there that live in there, different families, different RVs or different tiny homes or different, whatever the story is. Or they call and they say, I've got, my brother, my sister, my mom, I want everyone to have their own separate house on the property. I'm like, yeah, but this stuff is zoned residential, single family residential. The vast majority of the U.S. is single family residential. And California is crying about a housing crisis. And they're saying, how do we fix that? So we get rid of single family residential like Oregon has done in lots of ways. They're saying you can split that house in 2 and 4 and 8, and you can have more people living there on the same utilities and the same infrastructure, and they can charge a lot less rent or a lot less mortgage because it's split up between more people. Like that whole housing crisis thing, when you get rid of the limitations, it stops becoming a crisis or stops happening as a crisis. The people that own the property, the values go zing, because now you can rent it to 5 different people instead of 1. And the people that are living there, they probably lower their standards because they're living closer and closer to each other, but they can choose to live there if they want, and the cost goes down because they can split it up appropriately. So this property is single family residential, but there's a whole bunch of different lots. Let's take a look at this thing. So I think you can use it for a bunch of different families. I'm not 100% sure, but take a look at this, and you can ask Jacob and ask the zoning and people and see what they say. So Jacob, his name and number is on there. This is his property. It says he's the owner. You can look it up on title. It's in his name and everything. So if you click on the link in the description of this video, it'll bring you back to this website. You can click on his phone number and call him. So he's asking $4,900 or $125 down, $125 a month. We got the APN number. It's one APN number. It's 5.42 acres. And let's look at some of these maps. So we're in southern Cochise. I'll get to some maps here soon. I wanted to get to the exciting stuff. So take a look at the shape of this thing. They're like, Luke, who makes a T-shaped property? Well, look, there's turnarounds for fire trucks, like cul-de-sac turnarounds that they require. When you get to the end of the road, you got to be able to turn around, right? So there's these turnarounds, and there's corners. These are a bunch of different lots in a neighborhood that's all platted out. It doesn't look like it ever got built, but it's there, and you could use it for multi-family. Not multi-family on each lot, but look at this. Okay, so here's what I like. If we got plat maps of this thing, which this isn't a plat map, this is by APN number. So each one of these squares has its own APN, its own tax registry number in that county. It gets its own tax bill. This chunk gets one tax bill. And so if you go and you sell off, a whole bunch of little squares like this, but this thing's a whole bunch of little squares, I don't know what the regulations are to sell it off. Well, I do, but I'm not going to get into that. But I'm talking about using it. So if you go use each one of these pieces by a little square, then I believe if it's mapped out, platted out to meet the requirements, talk to the county, but I believe you could have, how many is this? 1, 2, 4, 6. I don't know if there's 1 or 2 along this road. There's probably 20 something little squares in there, whatever size these things are. And, there's one missing in here, right? That's how you really know it's platted out. And so you could probably have 20 families on this thing. I don't know the exact number. You can go get the plat maps from the county and look at it and see how many lots are really in there. And there's probably a legal description that has lot number blah 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 to blah 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 and blah blah blah, excluding that one there, and whatever the numbers of those lot numbers are. And you could probably count up and see how many there are. But I wanted to show you the idea, not the exact number, how many lots. But you could have probably a manufactured home, I'm pretty darn sure, a manufactured home on each one of these properties, maybe an RV on each one of these properties. maybe a tiny home or some version of a tiny home that you could put on each one of these properties. I'm not sure if this zoning on this particular property in Cochise County allows you to owner builder waive the inspections like a lot of Cochise does, but it might allow you to waive the inspections. You might be able to build homes on here and waive the inspections. If that's the case, you could build a whole row of homes and get your expertise of building put to work and make it happen, and go build out a whole bunch of stuff next to each other. And it's got the roads are laid out. This doesn't mean that they're built. I mean, you can see like an old grading trail in there. I just hired a grading guy this morning for a different property. I mean, they're not as expensive as everybody always thinks they are, but you could box blade on the back of your tractor, go drive around here. You could rent a tractor and drive around here. The guy I hired this morning is probably cheaper than renting a tractor or doing it myself though, because he's already got the tractor. So you find one of those guys, go make it happen, or gals. So that's the idea. Somebody who wants multi-user property in the desert, Cochise County, really easy regulations to make it happen. We've got it on the website. He's asking $125 down, $125 a month for 57 months, which is more than the cash of $4,900. Like I can do that math in my head. That's obviously more. Or $180 down, $180 a month for 35 months. I mean, he'd rather just have the cash, but if you want to do payments, he'll do the payments. So there's the payments, there's a payment plan, there's GPS on here. You click on that if you want to go look at it. There's Casa Adobe units, whatever. This neighborhood was abandoned, which is good. The old CC&Rs regulations, they got rid of that. Block 13 of maps and plats. So the zoning on this is SR8. So go look up SR8 in Cochise County. You can see if you can get away with owner builder, no inspections or not. And no inspections. It's just a nice thing about Cochise County. Lots of the properties you can go build your own house, and you can just sign to say I'm responsible, and I'll follow the rules and regulations and stuff. And you don't have anyone looking over your shoulder saying you can't do it this way, you can't do it that way. And you don't have to worry about the inspections. You should still build up to code because it's going to make it easier to finance and resell and less likely to get sued and everything. But you just don't have to do the inspections. So his taxes are like $50. He's asking for like $199 to do the paperwork. And here's some pictures of the area and around the area. Your classic Cochise County. We've had hundreds and hundreds of Cochise County properties go through the website. This is the latest one that's up there for the person that wants to have a multi-user Cochise County property for $125 a month or $4,900 cash. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is Luke Smith, RealVacantLand.com. See you in the next one. Bye.